that is a great transition to our next segment, which is all about precious metals and being prepared, so you're not scared. So this is the true economic prepping and also prepping in general. So our first story that we need to talk about is on the precious metal sectors, and I'm going to lead with of course, I'm going to throw this over to our number one precious metals guy here, which is Patrick.
But
and
first,
as I work,
like, comment, share, and subscribe, especially
apps,
if you love seeing
apps.
Patrick talk about precious metals and how excited he
And
gets.
if you do like to hear me talk about precious metals, and you did hear what Dylan just said, and you do like, share, subscribe, and comment, the sixth person to leave a comment and share and say stock pulse. That's it. Very simple. I'm going to send out some silver too. So it's that simple. Sixth person to leave a comment gets silver. So maybe be 5 and get your wife to be 6, right? So that's a simple one. But you want to talk about silver? I'll tell you why what I just did is a really great deal for you guys, because the premiums are going up like crazy. The supply of silver is not there in the stores. Right now, we have a really big need for silver and for these other precious minerals that drive our economy. And we are getting the supply eradicated, right? We don't have the supply to meet the demand. So that's my job there at Stock Pulse, is to try to really figure out what we're doing with the inventory here, who is providing supply to the North Americas, and what are we going to do to meet the demands of our future. So what we're seeing in the silver industry, especially silver and gold today, I think gold's going to be hitting an all-time high this month. I just talked with Shielded Prepper this morning. Him and I are both going, this is really happening right now. Gold is going up, and it's going to go above what 2,200 was the all-time high before. Silver, wow. If you could try to get silver, my store here is out of silver rounds. And if they had them, even though silver is $23, there's an $11 premium on silver rounds. Not silver eagles, silver buffaloes. What is that indicating to you?
That screams to me a shortage in the supply of silver. And
so again, sixth person, just comment and I'll send you some.
Yeah, and this is a race back to real money that's been gold and silver have been precious metals, been considered money for thousands of years because of the properties it has. And we'll talk about, I've done videos on crypto versus precious metal certainly exceeds fiat currency for holding and storing value for time, which is the main difference between money and currency. If it stores purchasing power over time, it's true money. If it can erode, like we've seen with the dollar for the last 108, 109 years, down to like 2-3%, if that, of the original purchasing price or purchasing power, it's a fiat currency, and it's just gone.
So, and I like the saying, just to conceptualize that, is in an inflationary environment, money breaks down into an asset layer and a currency layer, right? One to store its value over time, and one to use for easier exchanges and day-to-day transactions. So that's helped me conceptualize the difference between, when someone says money or a currency.
Yeah, and it's an important distinction that people like. Money is just an easier word to say than currency, and it's just so the vernacular is just out there. Everybody says money, and like it's interchangeable. But this is, again, the PR. We talked about PR in one of the earlier segments, and if you haven't seen the whole show yet, we're going to put links. I can't point up here because I'm in the middle of the show, but we'll put links up in the corner. We'll put links in the bottom to the entire episode. If you're watching a clip, we're doing several clips this week, but also we're going to offer you the full show as well. But in one of our first segments, we talked about how Yellen and Powell were doing PR to say everything's fine. And that's really just their job. Part of the job of the Fed and the Treasury and all that is to push the dollar system, to push everybody to say, don't worry about this. Feel free to leave your currency in the bank, sell it, spend it however you like, but leave it in the bank, because then you don't have to draw it out and cause runs on banks. So that's really what their number one job is right now. Try to save the banking industry as long as it's possible. Even the reports are coming out that 180 to 190 banks are on the tipping point and could be leading us to the next big short event.
Dude, I disagree. I don't think that they are trying to let this hold on as long as possible. I just don't believe it. I believe this is a coordinated effort, that the timeline is exactly as they want it. Choke Point 2.0 is happening right before our eyes, and it is being done methodically, strategically, and they are going for the pressure points that they know they need to set their narrative for a CBDC launching in July. There's no drawing this out. This is just like, it's going to crumble when they allow it to crumble, when they just say we're not going to bail out a bank. And then whatever happens, because they're going to need that to happen by July.
Well, we've got a lot to talk about, both CBDCs and also launching like the timeline in Choke Point 2.0. Probably a number of our viewers right now are just like, what is that about? Which leads us to our next segment.